Hello everyone, very good evening. A warm welcome to you all. A warm welcome rather than, I think it's a hot welcome. Chennai is becoming hotter and hotter nowadays. Hopefully this program will give you the warmth that is required at this moment of time. So we are happy to welcome you all to this wonderful program, unraveling the synergy of content and cutting edge technology in streaming by Kavitha. Thank you for joining us for this moment. And a program which started in small scale, now it has grown to double digit. This is our 11th program, in fact. And we welcome you all. And we have successfully launched our Maddie's award. And we got close to 350 plus entries. Today is the last day on early bird entries. And from tomorrow onwards, regular entries can happen. Please talk to your people, your friends, your fraternity people, and tell them about this program. And it's been wonderful to have you here. So we encourage you to have this as a more interactive section. You can raise your hand or post your questions as and when the session is going on. Kavitha is very keen to make it interactive, so she can answer your question and move on to her next topic as it goes. So thank you for being here. Without your support, we might not be grown to this stage. So now I call upon Mr. Suraj Salim, our secretary and co-founder of Digitally Inspired Media, to introduce today's speakers to you. Over to you, Suraj.
Thank you, Bala. Good evening, everyone, and welcome, Kavitha, to the 11th InsightView Series session. We are very happy to have all of you join us for today's session. You know, it's very encouraging to see all of you take the time out from 4 to 5 p.m. on a Friday and be part of our InsightView series, which gives us a lot of motivation to, get eminent speakers like Kavitha to impart knowledge. Right. So let's dive into it directly. I'm going to introduce Kavitha to all of you. Kavitha Jaubin epitomizes excellence in the Indian media and entertainment realm, boasting an illustrious career spanning over 2 decades. With profound expertise encompassing OTT, television, radio, and advertising, she consistently pushes the boundaries of creativity and innovation, setting new standards in the industry. Embarking on her journey as a copywriter at the esteemed Ogilvy and Mather, Kavitha later ventured into the realm of legendary director-producer K. Balachandra's production house. Here, she not only witnessed visionary work, but also contributed her own innovative ideas. Her exceptional directorial contributions to Star Vijay Television encompassed iconic shows like Coffee with Anu and Cinema Karam Coffee, as well as groundbreaking reality shows and events such as Starudan Orunal. Through her remarkable work, she has left an indelible mark on the television landscape, creating enduring and trend-setting experience for viewers. In the domain of children's entertainment, Kavitha's contributions are monumental. Spearheading the launch of 4 kids channels for the Sun TV network in regional languages, namely Chutti TV, Kushi TV, Kochu TV, and Chintu TV, she achieved unparalleled success, dominating the charts for over a decade. Her exceptional accomplishments propelled her to the position of head of the second GEC within the Sun TV network, where she assumed additional responsibilities by leading the brand integration division. Today, Kavitha Jaubin holds the esteemed position of Vice President of Content and Strategy at AHA, a revered Indian OTT platform. Her visionary leadership continues to shape the digital content landscape, establishing her as an enduring icon in the realm of media and entertainment. I once again welcome Kavitha to the InsightView series. Over to you, Kavitha.
Yeah, thank you so much for this lovely introduction. I think it was like a down memory lane, whatever I have done so far. So thank you so much for
welcome.
that. As I mentioned before, I think associating with Art Club Madras is an emotion, right? So I've been living in Madras for a very long time, and I've been seeing all the good work, all along. And I'm glad I'm here today, to have a session with you. And I'm so happy that a lot of students have also enrolled for the session. So as Bala mentioned, it can be an interactive session where, anyone can ask question in between, and we'll, happy to answer. So today I was, thinking about the topic when Indra called me a couple of weeks back asking for a topic. I gave this topic before, and I was like wondering whether people will be really interested to, diverge into this, because when you say technology, I think all the content people will think that it's not for them. And when you say content, I think the technology people will think like, no, why do we even connect with content? We are like a technology person. So I feel, today, it's very relevant to have this topic, because especially in the streaming business, content and technology are in hand in glove, right? Like, they are merging together to create something enhancing, something really, really different. And I thought this topic will definitely create a good, thought process, and, allow the creators to think technology even before, crafting their work. So I'll just share my screen. So can you see the screen?
Yes, Kavitha.
Yeah. Okay. So I think in today's dynamic realm of digital entertainment, it's very important that the marriage between compelling content and advanced technologies, mainly because it has given a major rise to the streaming platforms, and it's little unprecedented. I think no period in history has been so very technology oriented than ours. I think in today's life, anything to do with in daily life, without technology, I don't think we can even survive. It's become like that now. And in a way, it's good. There are a lot of pros and cons, but especially in terms of the streaming business is concerned, I think content definitely needs the support of technology, and technology needs the support of content. In that way, the streaming platforms have introduced a new model to the audience, and they've exposed the audience to a new experience. And when I was talking about content, I should definitely speak about the evolution of content. I think the streaming platforms have given a huge canvas for the creators to come back with diverse area of content, from blockbuster movies to documentaries, from live sports, to whatnot. I think they are creating every now and then. There are a lot of interesting formats which are coming in, different genres we are exposing, and even the short form, long form. There are different methods now, like never before. And I think not only that, the evolving taste of the audiences have also fueled the creative renaissance. I think pushing the boundaries, we are just trying new formats after a very long time. And when I say content, I just want to give a small example of the first film which was screened in India by Lumia brothers, The Arrival of the Train. In 1896, I think it was a small short film, 50 seconds movie, silent film, which was screened in Mumbai for the first time. And it's about a small, movie where the train comes and stops inside a station. The minute the train started coming on the screen, I think people in the theater were like literally running out of the theater, thinking that the train will come and hit them or dash them. But I think from there to here, I think now we are having the 3D glasses, sitting in the same theater, enjoying the train coming and hitting us, right? So along with filmmaking, along with the technological advancements, I feel the understanding of the audiences have also evolved. So back then, I even remember, we used to have, whenever in classic movies, we need to go to flashbacks. We'll probably have a spiral which will come on the screen to tell that we are taking you to the flashbacks. But now it's not needed. People are so well evolved that one jump cut will do the magic. People will understand that's a different portion and a different part. And we are understanding Christopher Nolan's movies. Obviously not Inception, but I'm saying like, we are evolving along with the technology. And that way the storytelling methodologies are also changing vividly. And yesterday when I was watching this movie, Godzilla versus Kong, which is in theaters, I was wondering like how the storytelling has emerged so well with the technology. Nothing was standing apart, right? It was such a wonderful blend. When the Kong was punching the Godzilla, the punch was right on my face. I was wearing the glasses, 3D glasses, but I was like unshakable. I was just enjoying the process. I was just enjoying the experiment, and how the movie making is changing every single day, and how it's telling a different kind of a story to the audience. And I feel not only the storytelling, even the methodologies are changing. I still remember there was a show on Sun TV. I don't know whether you guys know about the show, because it happened long back, even when I was a kid. The show was called Mudivu Ungal Kaiyil. Where the small segment will happen on the screens, like in the TV, and post which they will be having a huge audience, like around 100 people on ground. And there'll be a host standing middle of the crowd, and he'll be asking whether the heroine has to join with the hero, or whether they need to unite, and all of that. Based on the voting, based on the decision from the audience, they will again change the narrative of the story. So that way, I think earlier days, the storytelling has tried new methods, but they were not able to complement it, mainly because of the technology. They were not sure about how technologically we can tell the story. But today we have interactive series, films happening on the streaming platforms, where we are able to allow the audience to control the narrative. It's such a great gratification for the audience to control it. I think some of the series like Ranveer versus Wild or You Wild, and even in the children content, I think interactive content works significantly well, because there is a constant dialogue between the audience and the content. That is much needed in today's time, because the attention span is very less. We all are like constantly engaging in something or other. We're just fiddling with a mobile, we're just talking to a friend, family. In that time, we're also watching content. So I think that way, I think interactive content is making a great way into our streaming platforms. And apart from the interactive series and films, I'm saying like, there is a lot of new ways where, the creators are inventing every single day. And especially when it comes to, the technology, innovation in technology, especially in the streaming business. I would say like there is one way where the streaming revolution has happened mainly because of the technology. I think the implementation of AI driven algorithms for content recommendations, for real time analytics, and personalized user interfaces have created that need for the audience to watch more content. I think even in the recent past, I have been sitting in front of the streaming platforms, but most of the time I wonder like what to watch. There is so much of content, plethora of content which is available on the platforms. Start from Korean content, French content. There is Turkish, and there is non-fiction, there is fiction, docu-series. So what exactly you will watch there? Like, after seeing a trailer, you really want to watch something. You watch a movie and you are like happy with the movie. But after that, what will you watch? And how will you watch? And that can happen only through, personalized user interfaces. So the algorithm is actually picking the content pieces for you. Because the earlier days, I remember that if a movie is getting released in the theaters, we will go to the theaters. We will go and watch the movie in, along with other film enthusiasts, and we'll clap, we applaud. That's a different kind of an experience, and it's still there. But when it comes to the streaming platforms, I think most of the time we are left with no option but to watch what we are offered, right? So we are just giving the biggest decision making capacity to the algorithms. So they are taking control of that, and they are just deciding like what we need to watch. That way, I think the AI has done a phenomenal work in terms of understanding the audience and giving them the best. And when I say personalized algorithm, I think one person who has cracked it right is the streaming giant. I think from the streaming giant, I think all other platforms is definitely taking a lot of innovation ideas, and they are also like building new formats and formulas. When I say the streaming giant, I think Netflix has got an outstanding research team, which is constantly working, in the back end to, create some interesting experience for their audience. And especially when it, comes to the personalized recommendations, they feel that even the increase, they have just increased the conversion rate. Because the engagement is more when they give the right content pieces to the right audience. And I also feel that when you say the right content, what do you mean by the right content? When you have a artwork which is mentioned in your favorite manner, you will go and watch that. Or probably a small trailer which is given you the best scenes or some action scenes. If you're a lover of romance, if you see a romance scene there on your platform, you will definitely go and watch. So these kind of small intricate details, I think the research team is just taking, and they're just building a separate ecosystem. They're just building a separate portal for you to get the content. And I think this way the brand loyalty is increasing, the perception is increasing, because I think all the streaming platforms of today are struggling in one way. I mean the churn rate, because every day the churn rate is increasing over and again, mainly because there is no stickiness. There's so much of platform, there are so many content pieces which are available in the market, and what will you watch? And unlike the linear platforms on TV, I think if you're if you're aligned with one particular TV channel, you're constantly just watching that particular channel. But whereas when you come to the platforms, then it is very difficult for the audience to actually pick the right platform and subscribe to the platform continuously and consistently to watch content. I think that way the personalized recommendations or user interfaces are working really in a wonderful, magical way to retain the audience for a longer period of time. If you look at the promotional artworks of Netflix, they are taking consideration from the audience previous details. They're just checking the data, and they're working relentlessly to bring the best to the audience. And if you notice this particular screen, because the left side, if you notice the left side, because the intimated posters have gained traction with one particular viewer, they also created another poster, Purple Hearts, to capture their attention in the similar way possible. I think this is a great understanding of the consumer. I think the platform is taking a lot of measures to understand the audience first, even before providing them the best content. They're just understanding the audience well, and then probably give the content in the right way. This is another example of Stranger Things. So the Stranger Things, they've got around 100 or 200 posters. So each poster gives you a different narrative. That each poster will make each audience to engage in a different way, right? So I think in that way, they create a lot of interesting properties. I remember, very recently I was watching Mahesh Babu movie and on Netflix, and I just realized that when I was watching the movie, I just saw a poster of Mahesh Babu in an action sequence. Whereas when I was just talking to my cousin and I just asked her to check whether she is getting the same poster, she was getting a poster of Mahesh Babu and Ramya Krishnan standing there. So I feel, that's a great work which they are doing. And I think all the platforms are just taking, these kind of understanding and ideas and creating their own, regional platforms. And one more interesting, revolution which has happened in the recent past with the streaming platforms is the diverse language dubbing. I think today, in the recent years, regional cinema, exemplified by movies like RRR, KGF, Pushpa, they've crossed borders. People are talking about these movies worldwide. And how this happened, like only because we are promoting it internationally? No, I think the streaming platforms have given the control to the audience worldwide to actually watch the content in their native language. That's like providing them more freedom to watch and understand the content pieces in a different way. And not only that, we are now able to understand the diverse cultural exchange is also happening parallelly. Along with our regional content pieces, reaching them is one. Two, now they are able to, understand our cultural nuances well. Three, there is a overall big dialogue which is happening constantly, right? Like, earlier when we need to understand the, French content, or if at all we need to understand the Korean content, then we need to actually go there, attend content conferences or, meetings to, buy films. We attend film festivals. But today, I think that barrier is completely shaken by the streaming platforms, because sitting in India, we are able to perceive the entire world through the content. I think that's a great thing which has happened because of the streaming platforms. And apart from that, the story telling is constantly evolving, right? Like, as I mentioned before, the same train scene, if you give it today to one student, I think he will analyze more than the scary part. Like, he will talk about the other aspects of filmmaking, because the understanding has evolved. Similarly, I think we have been talking about augmented reality and virtual reality for a very long time. I think, whenever I hear augmented reality or virtual reality, I always think like it's not for us. There's something connected with technology, and there are a set of people who are sitting and working on that, and we don't have any, association with that. But of late, when I started seeing content pieces getting inspired by augmented reality or virtual reality, I see a new meaning, especially with some of the content properties which got launched recently, the peripheral. This is not available in India, but it's available in US. The story is about a VR enthusiast who is actually traveling to the VR world. She comes back even after that. I think the VR world is like constantly dictating her actual world. I think it's an interesting storyline which is encapsulated in a best way possible. I think augmented reality and virtual reality are definitely here to give new meaning to our content pieces. Similarly, there is one more content piece called Upload. I think the first season got over. It's a love story, but the second season happens in a virtual afterlife. Again, an interesting aspect where augmented reality is used in the series, and people are hooked on to the series mainly because of the technological advancements in the series. And we all know about Black Mirror. I think it's an anthology series which was launched in India worldwide. The first season was phenomenal. I think whoever has watched the content was not able to get out of it for another week. Even for me, like, it happened with me when I saw the first episode. I was wondering, even a content can be done this way, because it was just breaking all the barriers of storytelling and created something extraordinary. I think the storytelling methodologies are changing along with the technology, I feel. And in one of the recent master classes by Margaret Atwood, a famous novelist, she was like just she was discussing how a story can be retold, differently to a different audience. Say, for instance, if you're talking to a digital audience, the same story can be told differently. She has taken the example of Little Red Riding Hood. We all have heard the story, right? So that story, she said, like, it can be retold in a different way from the wolf's perspective. What if the story starts like this? It was dark inside the wolf. So all along we have been seeing the story from the girl's perspective. But what if we see the story from the wolf's perspective is the suggestion she was giving. So similarly, I feel like we all have seen Nayagan, and all along we have been seeing Nayagan from his perspective. So we have been empathizing him. We have been constantly aligned with him, and we have rooted with him. But if you think that if you are aligned with somebody else, like the police officer from the story, I think our perspective will be completely different when we will have a different viewpoint. I think that way the digital content is completely differing from the other content pieces, and whatever is happening on the linear platforms, or whatever we are watching in the theaters, right? Like in the theaters you get a different kind of an experience, and you can probably just get hooked on in another 5 to 10 minutes time. But whereas in the digital platforms, you watch a content, and if you're not catapult into the content in another 2 or 3 minutes time, then I think you will change your content piece. You will get on to another program because there is so much of content which is available. But how can we change the story telling for digital audience? I think digital audience is way more refined in terms of understanding. And I think we need to tell the story in a very, very pacey manner. We need to give them the right content pieces, right high points in the right time. I think some of the formats like Black Mirror has definitely done that, and we are just taking some inspirations from them, like how to work differently on the story narratives. And apart from that, I think globally there are few genres which are working really well. Some of the genres are like thriller, all-time favorite. I think murder mystery. I think we all are like so hooked on, and comedy, yes. But apart from that, if you're saying like some social dramas or science fiction, these kind of stories are like completely catering to a niche of audience, right? Like they are catering to different cohorts. Each set of content pieces are placed in the platforms for a set of people who can come and watch it, right? So I think the storytelling has to also differ accordingly. And I just want to know, is there any question as of now? You want to ask any questions as of now?
I think we will wait for the session and then to end, and then in the end we'll get to questions.
Okay, fine. Similarly, when I was just talking about the AR sessions, AR series, and the interactive series, there is also this famous reality show, Circle, which is a reality TV show, which was done by AR, and which is very, very popular even now. I think people are talking about it, people are watching it, which follows contestants who are unauthorized to have any physical contact with each other and may only communicate through a social media platform. Contestants from relationships catfish and charm their way into winning high prizes. In the past, I think they have used AR technology to create interactive experiences where viewers can use their phones to scan certain objects to see the bigger picture. So now I think even though the canvas is widespread, we are just getting out of one realm to another, right? Like, from the content space, we're just getting into the technology space and coming back to the content space in a very seamless manner. I think that is one thing which is happening now, right? Like, we are able to identify, we are able to understand both the mediums very well, that storytelling is extraordinary. We are able to sense something extraordinary, right? So I think that way AR and VR is here to stay for a longer time, and it's going to come back with a lot of innovations and a lot of exciting narratives. And I still remember this one game show which happened in the year 2016, Pokemon Go. It's an augmented reality game show, and with 70 million user base, and it's still growing in India. I think I vividly remember this game mainly because of my son who got addicted to this game. He's an indoor boy. He usually paints and read book and all of that. He won't go out in the sun at all. But when this game was launched, I think he was just playing this game, and he said like, Amma, can I just go to the street corner to, catch the Pokemon? There is one Pokemon which is waiting in the street, and there is one waiting near the supermarket. So can we go, catch the Pokemon? So it allowed the audience to get out of their, comfortable places, to go out and just see the outside world. That aspect of this game really inspired me. And I think, like, similar to such formats has to definitely come in this market to enthrall the audience in a bigger way. And we all know about the live stream options now available on the streaming platforms, and Jio has cracked it. I think cricket is an experience. We go to the playground and we watch the cricket and we applaud, we whistle and all of that. And now, since we are not getting tickets, I think this is the best way to watch cricket. Wherever you are, they can watch the cricket matches live. And I think the affordable data plans in India, because with 1.5 billion population in India, I think the affordable data plans have paved a major way to the audience to consume more content, recently. Let it be the sports event, let it be the fiction series or whatever. I think they're consuming more and more content because of the affordable data plans. And similar to that, sports is one big category which is constantly evolving, which is constantly coming back with a lot of interesting formats alongside music category. I think music is also a separate category which is growing on a daily basis. I think Hotstar has done Anirudh's concert live, and it was a successful show. Similar to that, a lot of other interesting, musical events are happening on a daily basis. We never, since we are not getting tickets, we might, based on AR, can go inside the stadium, sit near to the players and watch the game live. That can happen anytime. Sooner. So I feel technology is definitely giving more way to content to grow further in a bigger way. And I think all the content creators today should definitely understand technology in a better way possible to craft a meaningful product, because there is saturation, right? Like, there are similar kind of formats which are available. The same genres are getting overly consumed by audiences. But how do we differentiate? Like, going forward, like, there's so much of content, yes. But how do we differentiate? Because innovation has to happen on a daily basis. For the innovation to happen, I think technology will definitely help the content creators to, craft a very, very interesting, piece. And last but not least, I think live e-commerce is also emerging fast. And the recent trend is that, people are watching the content at the same time, also buying products and, merchandise through the same streaming platforms. Especially for Emily in Paris, I think Netflix launched this product line, and it was very popular, and it created a real new wave, internationally. I think people who were watching Emily and were buying her clothes, the same kind of products, and that's again, getting on to the next level. E-commerce and content, they are there, but the advancements will happen in a very short span of time, I believe. So I am coming to the end of the presentation. To conclude it, I think the continuous evolution of both elements promises an exciting future, offering viewers a more personalized and immersive experience. Thank you. Is there any question awaiting?
Thank you so much, Kavitha. Thank you so much for taking us through the evolution of things. It was like a rundown memory lane to see the, from Black Mirror to the optional shows of Ranveer Singh with, I'm not sure, Wild, right? Where we could actually choose the narrative, which was really interesting ways of showing it, and taking us through how things have changed, especially the bit of how Netflix has is curating and personally changing the posters, right? Like their own creators, which is really cool, and it's all automated at scale. So that's I mean, in entirety, the whole session was really interesting. Thank you so much for taking the time out. Let's open this up to everyone. Please share your queries. Are there any queries? I think we've. Please feel free to raise your hand, or you can even drop a question on the chat window, and Kavitha will take it from there.
Or we can even ask them, like, what kind of content they watch, because there are a lot of students who are here. We can even ask them.
That's right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good to see you here, Devanay. I think you were part of the PGDA course. Any queries that you're in, Devanay, even from the Trichy College, I believe even this students from MEPCO, if I'm not wrong. I saw Praveen, I can see your ID. Any queries, please feel free to ask. Or yeah, we'd like to know also, like Kavitha said, it'd be interesting to know
what kind of
you
content
guys,
they would like to watch, or what they think about the current shows in India, or about AHA, what we offer, anything.
Students, நீங்க தமிழ்ல கூட நீங்க கேள்வி கேட்கலாம். Don't worry about the language as a barrier.
Absolutely.
We are hardcore Nayagan fans.
We got one, I guess. Yeah.
Well,
so what are ways to reach AHA or any OTT being a creator?
Okay, I think since there are so many creators who are available now, and AHA personally would like to work with debutants. I think some of the biggest properties which was created on AHA, say Petakali, which was done in the backdrop of Jallikattu. It's a web series. Mr. Vetrimaran has produced it. It was directed by a debutant director, right? So similarly, Udanpal, Ratha Sachi, all of our movies were produced and directed by creators who are first timers. So if at all you have a good story, you need to send across your pitch to AHA, and we will evaluate it, we will review it, and once we like the idea, we will call you, we will talk to you and discuss, and then we will take on to the next level. If you are a creator, if you are a writer, then we will put you on to a separate team. Writers can align with the producers, directors, and then we can make the property. Or otherwise, you come back with the team, then again we can work accordingly.
So I think we have a few creative folks here who are looking at unleashing their stories. Maybe that's the reason these questions came.
I think the recent movies in the theaters have proved a point that the storytelling is so new age, right? Like even Manjumal Boys or Premalu, or some of the movies which got recently released are totally new. I think it's interesting to see a lot of creators, newcomers are coming to the content space.
So true. Maybe just for me to know, Kavitha, like currently from your current experience with AHA, what are the sort of challenges you're finding in terms of maybe viewer retention, or if is there any way that you're any technique or any sort of technology or process that you're using to retain that?
I think compelling content is the only way forward. I think it has to be very relatable, because as I told you, like in the first year of AHA, we have produced some of the biggest properties like Petakali. It's about Jallikattu, and very hardcore Jayamohan story was done into a film called Ratha Sachi, something of that
Right.
sort. But now this year we have become little, youth centric. We started catering to the younger demographic more, and we created a property called Veramari Office, which is a
Yeah, right. I've
long
seen.
form content. And we see a lot of people getting associated with the content, mainly because it's very relatable. They're able to see the characters more friendly, and they're aligning very well. So which I think like it's very, very important, right? Like we need to engage with today's audience more. We need to tell their story. We need to be with them.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, because I think we had, at least in the city, had seen a lot of promotional work for Veramari office,
It
bus branding
organically
and
trended. Some of the scenes, some of the clippings which we had on our social media were pulled by other private people, private platforms, and they started organically trending it because of the relatable office jokes. If a joke is
right.
about a boss or colleagues, they were like tagging their friends and they were like posting it on their walls. It started trending very organically, which was a great thing for us.
Right. I've also come to know, Kavita, that there are like going to be the evolution of maybe another 30, 40, or 50 OTT platforms that may come in the next 10 years, 10 years or so. Because hyperlocal is also something that people want to watch exclusively, like Tamil in one particular
Yeah.
platform, Malayalam in another, and things like that, right? And I think there are a couple of platforms in Kerala for Malayalam itself, if I'm not wrong.
I think AHA is also like that. We have
Right,
separate portals. Like if you see the app, we have Telugu and Tamil separately. You need
right.
to select the language. So if you select Tamil, then you will see only Tamil content. And that was the main agenda why we started AHA at the first place.
Right.
Because they wanted to offer a complete local experience. It was 100% Tamil. Even if we put a dubbed movie or whatever, it will be available in the regional languages.
Right. I remember, I think your tagline initially was 100%
100% Tamil,
Tamil, right? Yeah. Right.
100% local. Yeah.
Local, correct. Correct. Great. Great. Excellent. Any other queries from the participant side, please feel free to ask. If not, we can
I just
give
wanted
it.
to ask the students if they can answer, like, do they really want to see more of Tamil stories, talking about our landscape or, and culture or whatever, or do they want to see a differentiated content?
Devanai, Sanjay, Prasanna, if you guys don't mind answering, whichever language you're comfortable in.
Yeah, Prasanna, Akila, Robert.
Of late, like we are meeting a lot of colleges mainly because we want to understand their perspectives better.
Right.
Um,
Yeah, that helps understand, right?
yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
I think we heard somebody talk. No.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, that was.
Okay, it will be great if more of our stories and real events are being showcased to people.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So I think they are looking at more of a reality, real life stories.
Yeah.
Real life stories. Okay. Okay.
That's a good suggestion.
That's a great idea. I think it always works.
Yeah. Because most of the time, even when we see content, if the character is relevant to us, then
Yeah.
or somewhere some part of us are being there in the character, then it will bring a lot of emotion in for us, and we'll be more dedicated to watch and closely. That does help.
Yeah. Yeah.
Great. So I think we'll wrap up the session then.
Sure.
Great. So thank you for all the effort that you've taken, Kavitha, for being part of the 11th InsightView Series session. And I think everyone had a really knowledgeable walkthrough of whatever is happening in this content space and the OTT era that we are all part of today, which is inevitable and part of our daily, chill sessions in the evening, right? We take that time out to do. So it's so important in today's time and age. So sorry, excuse me. So thank you once again, and thank you for all the participants to be taking your time out to for the 11th InsightView series. We'd also like to keep you posted that Maddie's 2024, which is our 42nd Advertising Awards, is around the corner. You can still apply for your entries till the end of April. The award ceremony will happen mostly in the first or second week of June. So you will get intimation about it. We look forward to seeing all of you over there, and it'll be a great gala night for networking and meeting like-minded folks as well, and seeing the best work in the country.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kavitha.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kavitha.
Have a good
Thank
evening.
you. Bye.